Hi. How are you guys doing? How is everybody today? Um, hey, I'm just reaching out. What I'm going to do for a series, because I've had a lot of people reach out and they're like, hey, how do you stay so positive on things that's going on right now? So I thought I'd put together a little series um, called Actions on How to Overcome Any Problem. Now, I don't say that I have the answers to everything, but I thought this would be words of encouragement for those who need that uplifting support to basically help them through different things and difficulties. I mean, we've all been through them. Problems are truly never in short supply, especially nowadays, right? Um, you know, Today it seems even more so than ever that they've been accentuated and the intensity of problems that are out there has increased. I guess this is a time that makes me think back to what is that? The old spiritual saying that says, "Nobody knows the troubles I've seen." So I look at, I don't know, just trying to look to be uplifting and positive, and have told myself that at no point am I going to engage into the negativity on what's currently going on in social media. Because I think even just right now with what's happening with the social distancing, you know, not only are we going into that phase of social distancing, to be overcome problems and actions, sometimes you have to social distance from the negativity on social media. So that's why I wanted to say, reach out to anybody that's here, and you can always go back and watch this again. And I'm hoping that we'll reach out and help others get through some of the difficulties that they have. A lot of times we think that nobody's endured the difficulties that I have. Nobody's had the troubles that I have, and other people want to harass us on different times. I just let that go, because my troubles are different than yours. Yours are different than mine, and we all have difficulties that we go through, and you want to overcome them. So basically what this part series is, and I have some notes here so you're going to see me looking down so I could try to keep some order to it. These are just going to be suggestions, merely, not merely just to help you meet, but to actually endure difficulties. It's basically an action series is what I'm putting together for everyone. And the purpose of it is to help show you how to overcome problems. And it's kind of like a formula, per se, to overcome. You get around certain people and you think, they're always positive, and you kind of wonder what they're looking at. So I'm going to outline a series of steps together with specific techniques in this video that will work when they're worked. I say that again, when they're worked. Okay. You can make real progress in overcoming problems if you start and you continue to go forward and not lose patience, because actions put into place don't immediately change things overnight. Sometimes you have to persevere and endure for a long period of time, but you have to keep going and have that faith to keep going. So basically, again, if you start and you don't lose patience in the process, and don't lose what's the word I'm thinking of? Don't get discouraged when it gets tough. Keep thinking positively, stay with the effort, and follow suggestions, different things that are given. So I'm just going to go through some of the notes. There's going to be a 7-step series I'm going to share with you guys over the days. So tomorrow, make sure you jump on or come back tonight and watch this. So the first step in overcoming a problem is to think positively. Think positively. People have maybe say, I've heard that. The very beginning, when you start this effort to overcome problems, it's to get your mindset positive, and tell yourself that. Don't allow others to say, well, I hear that all the time or whatever. You have to find what works for you. When you start getting a positive mindset and you tell yourself, you got to just, get up. I'm tapping on my phone here, but you got to get up into that mirror and tell yourself that's it. So I get up my mirror and I'll look at myself and I'll say, okay, Jill, that's enough. No negativity. Remember, your brain is yours. You control it, and nothing gets in unless you let it in. Nothing gets in your brain unless you let it in. So when people go, oh, I just can't. If you're having a hard time with social media, step away from it. There's an action for you to do. But attitudes really, are the biggest thing. And they actually are more than facts. if a negative person says, well, that's a hard, tough fact, I mean, right now, I don't have any answers, as well as anybody else for this coronavirus, other than to take the suggestions to go forward and follow the authority. People say, well, I don't want to. You just can't get around that fact. Well, and you'll get a negative person who will say, a fact is a fact is a fact. Okay, you're right. But the positive person, on the other hand, is going to say it's a fact, but it's recognized there's ways to deal with it and ways to deal with facts differently. You can, I heard it, I know Michael Jordan said it one time, but I think it came from an older guy. I'm not even sure who was the one who said the quote. It might have been Norman Vincent Peale years back, but I've heard it from various people that they'll say, with a fact, in a problem, you can go around it, go under it, go over it, or hit that baby straight on. Okay? The fact is to deal with it. So many times a person that's negative, they get defeated by the fact. I've heard a lot of people like on social media, they're having a hard time just dealing with all this. And I'm sorry, is anybody out there really struggling? If you're on here, put it out, because I genuinely myself would like to offer prayer to you and pray for you. And I'm praying for the states. So go back on my Facebook feed, run back to it and look on my Facebook feed. I put pray for the world. There's no greater time than now to do that. And, and I asked what state you're from. But I actively take the time to pray. I don't just go stamp those prayer emojis and do that. I pray for those individuals because it is scary and uncertain times. But, I'm going to keep myself kind of cool about it and not panic. So how you think about a problem is really paramount of importance. You have to think that in a positive. So the step one was to think positively, that you have to say, I'm going to overcome this. Something my grandmother and my mother used to always say is, this too shall pass. Have any of you ever heard that saying before? This too shall pass. It will. You have to have faith. And this is where the time you come in and you have faith. At no greater time does someone seem to get more connected with the Lord than when you're in trials and tribulations. And where are we right now? So many people are panicking. But this is about talking and thinking positively. And you have to think about the law of attraction. Like I coached a basketball team, a group of boys, excellent young men. And it was a very interesting season for me. But one thing we did is we took and made ourselves some positive affirmations. What are positive affirmations? It's telling yourself positivity. You've heard the story of, children or people in your lifetime saying, well, you're this or you're that, or you're a bad person, or you're a bad kid, or you do this and you do that. And all of a sudden that person starts to believe it, that negativity. So positive affirmations are a list that you can find so much more about yourself, is if you write on that list. And I had my team do this, and man, they changed. But you have to turn around and you do it. So positive affirmations are putting like, I am what? I am confident. I am strong. I am a believer. I am a Christian. Anything, I am going to get through this. I am going to be positive, or I am positive. I am a good mother. I'm a good father. Things like that. Write your list and write I am about you until you can't write anymore. And then revisit that list. And read that list every day. It's going to change your mindset. And that positivity is what's going to help you get through hard times. Okay? I want to get my brain back to where I was going. But okay, so let's talk about negativity. People go, oh, you can't talk about negative. Yeah, you have to talk about negative to really understand what it is. But a negative thinker is going to put negative thoughts out there to people, which is a lot of social media. I've had a lot of people reach out to me privately and say, I just can't handle this crap. And I'm like, the action to overcome the problem is to think, and that means turn it off. Don't let your curiosity kill the cat. Get yourself to a point that you're saying, I'm going to shut it off. I need to disconnect. Just stay informed. So this isn't about just solving this problem, but it's any problems and things that you're going through. If you're a negative thinker and you put that out in the world, that's going to come back to you. And that's that law of attraction. The positive thinker, on the other hand, sends out positive, optimistic, faith-filled thoughts around them. And that comes back to you. It will. So a challenge I have for you is to take the next 24 hours. What is it? 2:35 right now. take the next 24 hours and don't think one negative thought. Don't let it in. Just try it. And if you do, come back here and let me know what it was like. Come back here and leave something in the comments and say, oh my gosh, I tried your 24-hour challenge, positivity challenge. It's hard. Don't think anything bad, negative. Only think positive and go forward from that standpoint. Okay? So try that. Let me know. Is anybody here willing to give that a shot? 24 hours. If you are, put down positivity only. Right? Positivity only. Down in the comments below, if you're willing to take that 24-hour positive challenge, just try it for 24 hours. Actively engage your brain and say, I will not allow anything negative to affect me. Our world's in a situation where a lot of people are anxiety stricken. They're struggling with different things. So it's important that you put that positivity into yourself and read. Grab some books. Now that there's so much time off. Hey, Tom, how's it going? Now that there's so much time on everybody's hands, draw yourself closer. Find out where you are and how you are as a person. Of course, with the scary times that's out there. So be a positive influence and uplift people. Like here's an example. I remember reading a story in a book one time about two salesmen. This one salesman went into this area, and he had very little business in an area. Okay, he wasn't making any sales. He was struggling, and he fully accepted it. The salesman said, this sucks. I just can't get any sales here. And then he went back again and he tried with his mindset. And he kept telling himself, this region stinks. I cannot make a sale here. Okay? And guess what happened? What law of attraction flowed to him? He didn't. He might have made a few, but he didn't make very many. Okay? So he reasoned, he goes, why should I work so hard when this area isn't working for me? Why? Why should I continue to plant seeds and try when it's not working? And the guy ended up not striking up any new business, and he actually left this company, okay, because he wasn't doing it. He even never really truly gave it a try from a positive fashion. And so the fact for him was that there was, in his mindset, there was no opportunity available for him. So let's jump forward to salesman number 2, who came in that same region, was never told what the region was, it was just given it, and he didn't even live in the area. Okay, and this other salesman came in there, and he had no idea there was, thoughts in his mind that there was no possibility. And all he was thinking was positive, and his actions were positive, and he made an amazing success in this region. And there was no one telling him bad thoughts. He just knew what he was going to do, and he went out and did it. Okay, so this positive mental attitude this guy had, that nobody had told him that it was a bad territory, he probably would have believed it if someone would have said it. But because nobody told him, he went there and worked the crap out of it. And he nailed it, and that's where we should be in this area. There's hundreds of thousands of people living in an area that need uplifting. So we need to be positive and put that positive out there. Sure, let's not get soft as a society where, if someone makes a joke, they're not directing it necessarily to you. Turn it off. Unless your name is tagged to it, that person probably isn't directing it to you. And if you are, that's shame on you then for that person. But you can think yourself through and finally out of any difficulty and problem by putting positivity in. But you must think. Let me say that again. But you must think. THINK. You must think. Activate your brain and not react emotionally. When difficulty strikes, it's common tendency, it seems people have a tendency to panic. Or be upset, or even be resentful. I mean, even like when you look at our president, there's so many, and I don't want to get into politics with you guys. I don't. So don't engage, because I'll just delete your comments. Okay? But even there's so many people that are resentful. But could you imagine if our president engaged in that? He's doing the best he can. And for those of you who don't like him or whatever, that's fine, or do like him. This isn't about that, but ask yourself if you think you could do any better. And if you could, then get your butt on the ballot. It's an election year. But I don't want to make this a political thing, because I don't. This is about overcoming a problem and thinking positively. Okay? So your conditioned response of being positive have to be so emotionally conditioned that you can think rationally. They have to be put in so they can think rationally. You have to discipline yourself to be calm in thinking and be cool. be calm. Like right now, I'm a homeschooling mom, and right now, so many are out there that have never homeschooled before. They send their kids on the bus. And I was at that point, and I was a public school student myself. They get on the bus in the morning, they come home. But guess what you have right now? Think about blessings that you have. This is a blessing. Think about the blessings that you have. And this is just to the parents who send their children out. Not that you don't love them or anything like that, but love them harder. Your kids get to leave and you have to go to work, and maybe it's because you have to. And you actually get the opportunity to spend the greatest time of the day with your children. How amazing is that? And no one can take it from you. Absolutely nobody can take it from you. So enjoy your kids in your time. I had to laugh because I homeschool my kids, and my kids, I told them, I says, oh, what are you going to do now? We're going to be, kind of stuck together for the next few weeks. And they're like, what? Mom, we do that already. I had to laugh because it's the truth. And that's where I know I'm so blessed because the decision was made. But take that time. If you're struggling and you're having a hard time at home and you haven't been in that situation when you've been able to be there with your kids for a period of time, think positively and say, wow, what if the situation was different? Don't wait for something bad to happen before you really grasp onto that love for your child or your family members that are out there. Okay. So again, I was going back about just kind of being cool in your thinking, being calm is going to produce rational thoughts. If getting on social media gets you worked up, get off. Keep yourself positive. 24 hours. Go back and watch a video, what I said about the 24-hour positivity challenge. See if you can do it. And then come back here and let me know how well you did and what difficulties you had with it. I'm guilty of it. I have times. I'm a sinner. I have times I have negative thoughts that go through my head, but I fight back. If you don't fight back those negative thoughts, you can't get farther forward in positivity. So your head, your brain is your greatest asset. Why not use it? Keep it under control. Discipline yourself to say, I'm going to be positive. My body as a whole, the chief purpose of my body is to carry my brain around, because without it, I'm nothing. There was something, Thomas Edison said that the chief purpose of the body is to carry your brain around. And he said by working in a non-overheated fashion, you get actual ideas and not impulses. So when you keep yourself in control and stay cool, you're not reactory or reacting to things. You actually get ideas and thoughts to go through. So some ideas that I have for you to solve some problems are this. Take a positive mental attitude towards any problem. I don't care how sucky it is. Challenge yourself to take that positive mental attitude. Second, stop all the negative thought. Take that 24-hour positivity challenge and all negative talk. If you're a person that goes on and you try to find someone's Facebook and you're out searching to try to get into something with somebody, I tell you right now that should tell you that you're a negativist. You have negativity. Don't do it. If it's your best friend and you're joking, that's fine because you have that relationship with them. But people outwardly look at that, how they view you. And people say, well, I don't care. That's fine. That's fine. That's you. You do you. But this is about overcoming any problem. And these are actions. And I'm going to do these actions for the next 7 days. I'm going to put a video like this to others. So make sure you jump on tomorrow when I do this on how to help you overcome these actions. So this is just part 1. Another thing is that you need to basically affirm your attitude toward a fact that's more important than the fact. What does that mean? The fact is, like right now we're in hard times, so look for the blessings that you have right in front of you. And take that affirmation approach that your attitude is going to become positive towards that. Emphasize law of attraction. Be positive or negative. Which one do you feed in your brain? Which do you feed more? If you will attract by your positive thinking only positive results. Okay? You'll attract by positive thinking only positive results. Because you are in control of what goes into your head. And if you don't let negativity in, You can't say, well, that person put that in my head. No, you're the one who read the post. You're the one who's self-absorbing into that crap. Hit the button, turn it off, get away if it's stressing you out. Managing anxieties is that way. You can overcome that problem, but you have to actively engage and think. So discipline yourself to keep your mind calm and untroubled. Just stay cool. Stay cool. This too shall pass. So whether you're having anything in your life, stay positive. Reach out to others that are positive. Reach out to those friends. Tell them you're struggling. Lean on somebody. That's what friendship's for. There's no greater time right now than the hardships that are happening within our country and within our world. That's can pull people together, or it can push them apart. Which part are you? Are you the positive? Are you going to come together? Or are you the negative and push people apart? And people say, well, well, you can say that. There's other people that think it. There's other people that act and do it. Okay? So in overcoming your problems, this is just step one. Go back from the beginning of the video, listen through, try to get yourself that, and take that 24-hour positivity challenge. And then tune in here tomorrow, because I'm going to go into step 2, which is going to be to believe your way through on how to overcome your problems. Okay? You guys have a super day. Stay healthy, and this too shall pass. Hang in there. Have a great day. Take care.